All right, so you might have to go ahead and hit the button that says that you accept that we are doing that. And we're recording because there was a few people who said that they weren't able to make it and join us today, but that they really wanted to be part of this. And so we're going to make sure that they can get a hold of the recording as well. And thank you so much for taking your time on a Saturday to come and join us. So we have a great little program for you, and I just want to quickly take a moment to welcome you, as well as explain kind of what the layout is going to be for the morning, because we've changed the schedule slightly from what we had posted before. And part of the reason for that is that there's a few people who are able to be with us at the beginning of our program today and not at the end, and so we've just kind of moved the order around a little bit so that you get a chance to see the important bits on the website and hear the important bits about membership and such before you're going to have to kind of cut out partway through. So our program for today, I'm just here to say hi. I'm going to hand the floor over to Liz in a moment, who's going to guide us through some stretching and movement. And then Hannah's going to take us on a quick little tour of the website so that you know what you're looking for and it's easy for you to find what you're wanting when it comes to classes and events and that sort of thing. And that also gives everyone who's part of our little team of heads of house a chance to introduce themselves quickly, tell you a little bit about them and what you can find in their element pathway. We'll take a little break, and then we've got some fun stuff happening after that. We're going to do a group balance, a little bit of a muscle dance. We're going to do some Ology exercises, which are for brain integration, and then a 5-element scavenger hunt. So I'm glad that you're here with us. And before I talk too much here, let's just hand this over to Liz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liz Elia. And I'm so excited everyone's here. It just feels like such a great and exciting new community that we're growing. And I wanted us to do a little bit of yoga to start to feel the elements in our bodies. So we're going to do some yoga starting in a chair and then standing. What I want you to do is find a chair that you can sit upright in. And maybe if you're in socks, you want to take your socks off, or if you want to keep your shoes on, just don't want you to slip on the floor. So come to your chair and sit at the edge of the chair. And if you can't hear me, speak up, or if there's any problems with my video, just feel free to speak up. Sitting at the edge of the chair, I want you to just bring your hands flat to the low belly. And we're going to start with the breath, the element of air. As you inhale, feel the belly expand into the hands. And hold the breath at the top. And then gently release. And as you exhale, feel the low belly pull in. Inhale, expand the low belly like a balloon. Hold gently. And slowly release the breath. Inhale. So what we're doing is we're working with prana, which is life force energy. Exhale. And this is the element of air. This is the center of yoga practice. And we're going to bring the hands to the knees now and start to link movement of the body to the element of air. Cat, cow. I'll turn to my side so you can see me. Inhale, start to tilt the hips forward, lift the chest, lift the chin. And then as you exhale, you'll round the spine back, tilt the tips back slightly, chin to chest. Inhale, start to lift the chest, lift the chin, stretch the front. Exhale and round. So we're working with the central and governing meridians. Continue to move forward and back through the center line of the body. Moving at your own pace, linking your body to the breath. And just exploring what's happening in your body today. Okay. And then come to stillness. Close your eyes for a moment. And just take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now we'll be moving into the element of fire. Fire is like air going in and making the fire grow larger, like a bellows. You send air into a fire to get it to grow larger. And what we're going to do is bellows breath. Inhale, arms up high, stretch up through the fingers, heart meridian from the armpit to the pinky. Exhale, make a fist and let the elbows drop into the side of the body. And then we'll do that about 10 times like a bellows, making the fire grow. Excellent. I like all the sound of the breath. Bring your hands to your lap. Inhale. Hold the breath in the body with the chest lifted. As long as you can, try to relax and let this fire kind of settle. Gently release the breath. And then we'll do the opposite. We're going to hold the breath out next time. So inhale. Exhale all the breath out. Hold it out and sit upright. With the breath held out, lift the chest and draw the belly in. Try to let everything relax. Don't strain yourself. You can always breathe if you need to. Gently relax the belly and just take a couple normal breaths, letting everything settle. So going from fire to earth, the stomach and the spleen meridian. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to your right, bringing the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. And exhale, turn to look back over the right shoulder. Inhale one more time, lift. And as you exhale, gently release the twist. Round the shoulders up and back a couple times. And let's maybe roll out our ears. For the kinesiologists, we all know what that is. We're going to pull the tops of the ears, unfolding the ears, just to get the neck ready for the next twist. Go from the top all the way around to the back. A couple times. And then relaxing the arms when you're ready. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, twist to the left, bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. Exhale, turn to look over that left shoulder, gentle twist. Inhale, rise up through the crown. Exhale, turn over that shoulder. Inhale. Come back to center and exhale through the mouth. So what we're going to come to now is mountain pose. Just standing up in front of your chair, rock your feet on the earth below you. They're about hip-width distance apart, root down through the soles of the feet, and we're in the earth element. So really connect as if you're feeling the support of the earth below you as you root down into it through your feet, but also lift up from that energy down through your feet. You engage the legs, and that helps you to lift through the chest to stand tall like a mountain, palms forward. Drop the tailbone down, don't puff the chest out. And just feel the equal lift up and rooting down. Inhale, arms reach high, look up. Exhale, soften your knees and flat back, dive forward. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins towards the knees and lift the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more inhale, arms up high. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, soften the knees, maybe hug the backs of your ankles. And then inhale, rise up. And hands to heart. So continuing with the earth elements, we're going to spread the feet wide. Wider than shoulders, as wide as you can. And now spin to your right. And maybe step that back foot out a little wider. Both feet are flat on the ground. Right foot is pointing straight forward. Left foot, dig down through that back heel, really earth down. Lift through the chest, and then gently start to bend the right knee. This is coming into warrior one. So we're moving from earth into the metal elements now. Warrior one is a warrior holding a sword above their head. So we're going to lift the arms up high and shine the chest towards that right knee. And now, if this is where you want to stay, please stay here. If you want to interlace your hands, let the index finger stick straight up like Charlie's Angels. Squeeze the palms together and squeeze the arms into the ears as if you're holding a sword and lifting it high over your head. This is metal elements, lung and large intestine, which go up the arm to the thumb and the index finger. Slowly release the hands back to the heart. Turn your toes back to center, hands to the hips, and bring your feet back together. And we'll just wash that out with a sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold, and rise up. Hands to heart. Beautiful. All right, hands on the hips and step the feet wide once again. Twisting to the left this time. You may want to step your feet a little wider. Adjust the back heel. Hands on the hips, really root down through the right heel behind you. And then gently and softly bend the left knee in front of you. Arms up, warrior one. Let the shoulders relax, lift the heart, connect to that back heel, bringing earth into metal. You can clasp your hands together the opposite way, if you remember. Index finger points straight up and squeeze the hands together to activate the arms and really lift that sword high. Taking a breath here, try to relax as much as you can the rest of the body while still maintaining this active position. And release. Hands to the hips, turn forward, step your feet together. Half sun, inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then we'll rise up. And hands to heart. So now from metal, we go into water. And we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So if you'd like to, you can do if you are feeling flexible today, you can stay here. If you'd like to bring your chair in front of you or something in front of you, you can have that there. Widen your feet, hands to the hips. Feet are parallel, so the outer edges of the feet both pointing straight ahead. Lift the heart as you inhale. And as you exhale, Flat back, come forward, soften the knees. And this is where you can put your hands on the chair if you need it. Otherwise, bring your hands to the ground and let your head hang down. You can put your hands flat on the ground beneath you. You can reach out and hold your ankles, but we're pressing down into the feet to activate the energy of the legs, kidney meridian, and letting the whole back body flow forward like a waterfall. This is the water element. So let everything flow down the back and out the crown of the head towards the floor. If you'd like to flow like water, you can bend one knee and the other. Just a very gentle side to side bend. And then slowly come back up, hands to the hips, carefully coming back up, and step the feet back together. Standing in your mountain pose, let earth contain the water. Let everything settle. And from water, we move into wood, which is represented by tree. So of course, I'm going to do tree pose. So bend your right knee forward and then turn the right knee out to the side, letting the ankle rest above the standing leg ankle. Pull this left hip in and you're lifting up through the center of the body. You can stay here or you can step the foot to the inner calf. Or if you'd like to, bring the foot up to the upper calf, the upper thigh. All options here. Finally, if you'd like to lift the branches of your tree high, embracing the power of the sun, shining your chest up, going from wood to fire. And then slowly letting the hands come down, letting the legs slide back to standing and march it out. Rock back and forth on your feet. Inhale, arms up. Let's just do a half sun real quick. Exhale, dive forward. This is optional. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then once again, rise up. Arms high, hands to heart. Now we'll bend the left knee, turn it out to the side, and you can let the ankle rest with the toes on the ground. Put the foot on the inner calf, or bring the foot all the way up to the upper thigh. Whatever you choose, you can even put your hands on the chair in front of you. Keep your hands at your heart, or let your expression lift your arms. Deep breath. And exhale, hands come down, leg comes down. Let yourself march it out a little bit. Hands by your side. And then we'll come back to the seat. Hands on top of the thighs. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. So you've completed the cycle of the 5 elements. Let your mind rest, observing your body, letting the breath relax to a natural state. And let your heart rate settle. Feel a light at the center of your heart. And imagine that light expanding out like a child's drawing of the sun, expanding to encompass the entire room around you. Expanding to reach the community around you. Just trying to expand this light in your heart more and more until we all reach each other. In Costa Rica, Canada, everywhere else in the world. So excited to be here with you today. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, Liz, for getting us all warmed up and for getting us connected in with the elements and getting us connected in with each other and ourselves. I feel like that was just the perfect kind of introduction to the element flow and to some of the things that Liz is offering. If you've had a chance to look at the website, you may have seen there is a introduction 5-element class like this that is like a free one that we're doing next week. And so if you enjoyed doing that with Liz, there is more of that to come, which is amazing. So I'm going to hand over the microphone to Hannah, who's going to take us on a little tour of the website here.
Hi. Thank you, Liz. And thank you, Mom, for introducing. Yeah, I thought we would just take a minute to go through the website a little bit and just see kind of what we've been working on and where everything is. So let's just take a second. Hopefully you can see my screen. So this is gemscollegecollege.com or gemscollegeofenergymedicine.com. Either way, we get you to the same place. If anyone wants to follow along or to look it up later. So we're just looking at the home page here. But where I'd actually like to start would be if we go to About the College. This page is a great place to start if you have any questions about like what this is or why we're here. Talks a little bit about the team. So actually, Mom, do you want to talk for a second about why GEMS College?
Sure, I can absolutely do that. This is a question that we've been thinking about because this, I'm just going to, I don't know if I can flip this so that you guys can see me instead, but this was an idea that we had years ago, the idea of opening up a school and being able to help people kind of pursue muscle testing as a career. And then, I mean, maybe you guys have heard there's been some stuff in the last couple years. People's plans have been a little bit derailed, so we kind of put everything on hiatus. But having spent the last 2 years really teaching a lot online and working with a lot of different, Hannah, can you maybe stop the share for a second? Working with a lot of different practitioners and instructors around the world, there's a few things that are really standing out as missing. One is access for students to be able to find exactly what they need in terms of courses, right? Being able to have a variety of things available to them, being able to have the options to take classes online or in person with a variety of instructors, and also an understanding of what modalities are out there. The other thing that seems to be really lacking for people right now is that feeling of community and connection. So I don't know about you, but I know that for me, I used to get a lot of my community and connection when I would go somewhere and teach a class and I'd get to spend time with that group of people, when I would go to a conference, right? And we would spend the time, yes, learning things, but also like having dinners together and going on adventures together. And I've been finding that a lot of that has really been missing. And so when we were looking at this, we wanted to do a couple different things. One, make this the best student experience possible. And two, set up a community that could be supportive for students, practitioners, and instructors, so that we all feel like we're getting our self-care, we're getting our peer group, right? We have all of these resources available to us. So when we looked at how we wanted to structure the school, we came up with this idea of working with the element pathways. And this is in keeping with a GEMS flow model. For those of you who have taken GEMS classes before, the elements are sort of the gateway that we use to get into everything else within the body. So like you just saw with Liz, using the elements can be a gateway to exploring movement. Using the elements can also be a gateway to exploring education. And so we have these different element pathways set up where you can kind of pick your focus, and there are classes that are kind of in alignment with that. So it gives you an idea of what courses might be in your best interest right now. Because if you are wanting to work with high-level athletes, you want different courses under your belt than if you're wanting to work with kids with learning disabilities, right? And so it's designed to help you find what's best for you right now and support you in every step of the way. So that's sort of the why. And then I realized that I wanted to do something much bigger than me. So I've begged and cajoled and bribed and and tried my best to bring people who I love into this with me in order to make this a really good experience for everyone. And Hannah's really been my partner in crime in getting the website up and running. So it's emotional for us because we've been working really hard on this, but I'm really happy to have her helping me with it. So I think that might be enough of me babbling about why. We'll come back around to it if people have questions afterwards. But Hannah, you can go ahead and share the screen again, and I'll mute myself so I stop talking.
Yeah. See, the problem is that I could just listen to you talk about it all day. Actually, I probably have heard you talk about it all week. So, so that's our about the college. There's a little bit more information in here, and you're welcome to go through it later. But I wanted to look at the courses a little bit, because you mentioned that's sort of the heart of this, right? Is the different workshops and the network of instructors and the ability to see it all in one place. So I'm over here in our courses page, and you can see that there's 3 different kinds. And so this is a kind of a question we've been asked a lot as we've been planning this and talking about it, is how this is going to look. So there's going to be in-person workshops with our network of instructors around the world, right? So you can, I can organize a class here in Costa Rica and invite people here, but they can sign up through the college. And I can use the college as basically a sponsor for my in-person workshop. We also are going to have online in-person workshops. So these are scheduled online events where you are still expected to be in attendance, but from wherever you are as a virtual event. And then we also are going to have, and this is sort of where we're stepping out of what's been happening in the kinesiology world lately, is the online self-paced workshops. So this is information that it's a course that it has downloadable content that you can access and purchase through the college and then do at your own pace or however you want to do it. So we have these 3 different ways of teaching and ways of gaining knowledge within this framework. You can see there's some courses already booked or already in here. So also, I'm realizing it's kind of a small group. So if anyone has questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll see if we can address them as we go or in between things. But so the difference between these, you've got different kinds of courses. And for some of them, like the in-person ones, you're going to have to go over to your events page, which is over here, to kind of see when those might actually be happening. Hopefully we can streamline this process a little bit, but for now we're going to come over to the events page and see when those courses are actually booked. So this is where all the magic is happening right now. So we've got a few intro classes in the next couple of weeks coming up, which are things that you can go ahead and join right now with some of our lovely mentors. We've got Emma and Liz already in here. But also we have this is an in-person course here in Costa Rica. This is an online one, this is VIP. So you can see how we've got this sort of combination of things happening where we can all learn in different ways. We've got a summit, conferences, and open houses so that we can all connect.
Don't mention the summit.
Don't mention the summit.
There's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff happening, guys.
And it's all here. So we can go ahead and take a look at one of these courses. We just did yoga with Liz. This is an interesting one because what we're going to have here, if it'll load, there's going to be this free intro class. Thank you so much, Liz. And what we're going to have is it to be a free yoga class on a weekly basis for members, with also an option to drop in if you're not a member already of the college, or if you just want to try out the class, see how it feels, see if you would like to become a member. So what is the difference between logging into a class and becoming a member? I'm going to come over here into features and down to membership account. If it will load once again. Sorry, I was just noticing some notes in the chat that will be from me for now. One moment. Having a tech issue here. It's not wanting to show me the membership right now, and I will make sure that is fixed at the end of this if it is a real issue, so that everyone can see it.
Well, this is an online tech issue, not a physical tech issue. Technology melts here. Our television has started melting.
All right, well, while I figure this out, what I'm going to do is talk for a second. So the difference between being logged in, being able to join events or join classes, and being an actual member of the college is being a member of the college gives you the ability to have access to more community and more of the network. So as well as courses like Liz's yoga class as a free kind of weekly activity. So members have access to, cannot type and talk at the same time, access to mentor hours and office hours, as well as community forums and their element pathway. So let me not get ahead of myself.
That's never.
That's never. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, we've got lots of community spaces. Yeah, thanks, Mom. There's a lot on the internet happening. Yes, so we will have forums and community spaces available to people who are members. And now I can finally get to the place where I was trying to get to. Huzzah. I promise I'll fix it. Okay, membership levels. That's where I was trying to get. So here you can look at what some of these different memberships kind of look like. So right now what we have are these first two are very similar. What we have going on here is premium, which is just your community membership, and also this discounted version for people who are joining us now and celebrating with us and believing in us, and you get to lock in this rate. And so this is just us just being very grateful for anyone who is actually joining us and being a part of this at the beginning, because we really do think it's important. And then we also have instructor membership. So this is sort of, you can do this in different ways. You can take courses without being a member. You can be a member without even taking courses if what you really want is access to those forums, to mentors, to whatever else, right? To all of those interesting activities and courses and case studies and whatever. You can also have this instructor membership, which allows you to be more of a mentor in the community and to list your courses with the college. And you can see it all written out here. And then we also have this last membership, which is for anyone who wants. But this premium is really, I'm just so excited, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay.
Which level of membership do I have?
You're a head of house.
Oh,
Heads of houses has their own.
delightful. Thank you.
Yes.
So honored.
Yeah. Hopefully all these people will become early adopters.
That'd be a good thing. Yes.
That's a good thing. Okay. But one thing that you get access to as a member that is your element pathways. So one thing you can do is book a free consultation to figure out sort of what your goals are, where you're trying to go with your career, and what you need, what courses do you need, what kind of community do you need, what support. And we've separated those things into these element pathways. So I'm talked about those briefly, and you can see them here right on the front page, right at the home page. You've got these different element pathways, and each of these have a head of house, which means that there is someone whose job it is to really take care of you and guide you and support you in your personal journey, because we're really aware of the fact that there's a lot of courses out there, and we all end up kind of taking whichever ones we have access to. But wouldn't it be really cool to have sort of a little bit of a pathway lined up, not necessarily that you're stuck with, but to give you some ideas of what things would be helpful to you personally, as opposed to just what's in your area or what you've heard of most recently.
Like if you have a very specific plan, then you can talk to someone about how you want to go about to that specific course type.
And you'll have access to mentors who are passionate about the same things you are, and therefore have the ability to help you and support you in that way.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yes. Dora?
Yes. I was wondering if there is, like, what are the things that go along with being a house captain thing?
House captain.
House
I like that.
You know what? We're gonna make them talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring attention to the fact that you can see these under features. You can go through and look at all of the element pathways and see maybe where you might fit or what courses we offer or what things you might be interested in. We also have the youth program, which we're working on setting up to kind of pull more interest and more young practitioners and instructors and give those people the tools that we all know and love. But you can go ahead and look through all of these lovely pages with the description and courses that might be a part of that path, or that might be what you're interested in talking about. So I think what I would love is to, at this point, answer Dora's question and kind of go through and maybe meet the team a little bit and talk to all of our heads of houses about sort of why we're here and what that role looks like. So I might go first really quick, just because I'm talking already. And then I can just shut up and we can be done. But I am the learning facilitator as well as a youth program mentor. So I'm not really a head of house. I will be working with the youth program as we get that set up and be part of organizing that and putting it together. But more importantly, I'm the learning facilitator, which to me means exactly what it sounds like, making learning easier. So all of the parts of the college that are not actually taking courses, I consider this to be sort of part of my responsibility. So if you book a free consultation, which you can do on the homepage with me, to talk about what your goals are, what your career looks like, and what path might be a really good fit for you. Or we can stop sharing. Yeah. Yeah. So I intend on moderating forums and being available for office hours and creating co-working space for anyone who wants to just sort of have community while we're learning. That's where I like to focus. I really, I've wanted to be like a learning facilitator for quite a long time since being homeschooled. And so just having this ability to be in the space of helping other people learn in the best way for them is something that's really important to me. And that's something that I've had in my life. So that's my goal in this school right now. Do you want to go next with Air?
Goodness, I was not prepared. Hi, guys. How are you doing? Thank you all for coming today. Yes, I am in fact the head of the House of Air, and I am very nervous about it, but I am glad to be here and part of the foundation of this. I am, of course, Alexis Costello's son. Give a round of applause for her for creating all this.
Well, Nancy's on it.
I believe in the college because I think that everyone should have these tools. Like John Thee's original vision that everyone should have the ability to heal themselves within their own house, to help themselves, their family, their neighbors, and just be able to strive to be better with these tools. And I've always had these, and I'm extremely grateful for them. Like whenever we left the house when I was young, we would just do our switch-ons and cross crawls and everything before going out so that we were a little bit better off than if we hadn't. And with Air House, I'm hoping that we can work towards that with just giving these tools to people who need them. Air House isn't in some of the original work with the Chinese elements, so it might be a little bit obscure to some people. For those of you with a Touch for Health framework, Air House is where central and governing are filed in. So it's a little bit of the odd man out in the elemental system. It is the space in which the other elements stay. It is the empty space between each of them so they don't just ball together. It is the universe in which the earth and all of the elements preside. So in the air element, we are focusing a little bit more generally. We are helping people who are just coming in, who aren't quite sure what they want to do yet, who just want to learn the basics. And we are concentrating on that. We are getting people to where they need to go within the rest of this system. Also, I needed to explain the idea of it being the empty space and the universe in which they all preside a little bit so that I can get in on the philosophy angle before Mum, head of Waterhouse, just swoops in and takes all of that for her house. We have to share it. So, yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Emma, do you want to go next?
So nervous. My God.
Well, I'm just unmuting myself. Hi, my name is Emma, and I am beating a bit of a cold, so excuse me if I sound funny. I am the head of Woodhouse, and I came to kinesiology from athletics, which is a major focus of House athletics. And I believe in this modality for a very long story that I will tell in part at the summit. And some of you have heard, but I really believe in the modality itself. I also believe in the approach of this school very much as far as its sort of thoughts on equality for different sorts of learning opportunities and like a really intense focus on the student and their needs. And part of that is this elemental division that we're talking about right now. And then I also really believe in these people that are doing this whole thing. Not only are they wonderful as people, but they're very good at what they do and super passionate. So I'm super happy to be a part of this team. And yes, so as I said, my background is acrobatics. So I was an acrobat for about 15 years. And now coming into kinesiology and Woodhouse, we're really focusing on that aspect of the body, physical integration, structural sort of things in the Woodhouse, injury prevention and rehabilitation, all those kinds of things. So we are the house that's more focused on the sort of high level athlete. How do we help them get to where they want to go, or recover from their most recent sort of kerfuffle? Yes, that is I, Emma of the Woodhouse. Goodbye.
Going to turn.
Liz, should we just carry it around through the 5 elements here?
Yes, hi, Liz again here, head of the House of Fire, which I guess is represented by a wizard. And I would also say a lizard or a dragon would be the head of the firehouse. So I'm a full-time practitioner here in Boston, Massachusetts. And I also do lots of distance work, and I feel incredibly blessed every day to be doing what I do for people. And I just, you know, when I came into the field, I just felt kind of alone. There weren't a lot of people doing this type of work that I knew. And as I took more courses around the world and met all my teachers and mentors and became part of this greater community, it just really gave me so much more confidence in what I'm doing. So the House of Fire is kind of refining where people, how they express themselves in their life, and how they become who they truly want to be. I love you too, Jorah. Thank you, my fan. So I describe people as a crystal, and the light that comes through you, the fire that comes through you, it can't emanate the rainbows. I don't know if you can see the rainbows on my face if you're not aligned, right? So the light comes through us in our chakras. If you know anything about the chakras, as the light comes through us, we can really shine and be a light in the world. But if we're having, you know, blockages like belief systems or emotions that keep us away from who we truly are, then that is what I help my clients with every day and what I want to help the students of the college with. So excited to be here, part of GEMS, and lots of love to you all. I'll hand it from fire over to the next element, which is anyone? Earth, Farah.
Hi, so I am not the head of the Earth House. It is my friend Farah, and she's here but has lost her voice because she's not feeling well. So I asked if she would come and wave, and maybe I'll have you just, if you can unmute and just kind of make some noise for a second so that it flips to you so everyone can see you, that would be great. Okay, we can't hear you yet. Well, that's okay. If it's not going to work, that's fine. But I said I would just say a couple words about Earth House for her this morning because she's not feeling well. So to me, the Earth is the center. If you look at the way that we see the Touch for Health chart, you know, you think about the Earth element following fire in a succession. But if you look at old TCM stuff, the Earth is in the center. And then you end up with the other elements kind of arranged around it. So Ezra talked about how air is like the field that the other elements play on, and Earth is like the nucleus of the atom that holds everything else around it, right? So our Earth element is very much about being centered and grounded, and it's about being in that caregiving role. We often talk about the Earth type as being the peacemaker, the caregiver. And so if you take a look on the website at the information about the Earth element, it is sort of centered in those caregiving roles, and that's self-care as well as caring for those around you. There's a focus on nutrition and practicality, those qualities of sympathy, empathy, right? And Farah is a lovely embodiment of a lot of those qualities. She has a huge range of experience in different modalities, and she's tasted a little bit of everything, and then she's very generous about bringing her knowledge to other people and helping other people see maybe what they would be the most interested in from all of those things. She connects people, right? So that's why we're excited to have her here. She's got a little bio on the website if you want to read more about her and her background. And she's in British Columbia, Canada, and we're very happy to have you even if you can't talk to us today. So we'll go from Earth to Metal, and Nancy, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, just give me a wave if you can hear me. Great. My name is Nancy Lodi. I'm so delighted to be here today, not just in this community, but as the head of the House of Metal. I'm a full-time brain integration practitioner in Boston, Massachusetts. I also do long distance energy work full-time. I've been doing that for 11 years. I've just finishing my 11th year of clinical work. I fell into this modality. I didn't know anything about it. And it just kind of came to me. And so one of the reasons I'm so delighted to collaborate with these fine people is that I really believe that we can foster a new earth, in a sense, by having these things made more readily available, and specifically to a younger population. Most people, even within our community, have no idea what it is that I do, and therefore have no clue that it is available to them to help others. And so I am more than delighted to assist in every way possible to spread these healing arts and kinesiology arts to as many people as possible. So that is the why I am here. I really enjoy collaborating with all of these fine practitioners, people I've seen in class, people I've been on retreat with, and people I just know from afar and have heard about the great things that they're doing. My particular house, the House of Metal, is about refinement. The metal house and the metal element is about taking the rough and making it smooth. It's about refining from these rough things into something very dedicated, very smooth, and with precise intention. And that is exactly what I do as a brain integration practitioner. I mostly do the cross-analogy brain integration technique, which is a protocol for addressing very, very small and intricate wiring of the brain to allow for the brain to be a very efficient and focused version of itself. And so in that vein, I help my clients reach very specific and concrete goals. So many times it's about learning difficulties with younger people and clients who may not even have the ability to read or pay attention in class. And with my more adult clients, this is about getting them to the goals of their life that they really want. So it's less of just an energy work as it is very refined and opening the mind so that it can see these places to be refined, so that the person can access what their skills are, and so that the skills that they do not have yet can be made available. And in that sense, bring about a person who is a little bit more ready to step into the world, a little bit more ready to assist their own community. And I think what Ezra said is dead on. These techniques really should be available either in the household or in the community so that they're available to more people. It is very obvious that I cannot assist all the people that need help. And the reason for that is I'm just one person and I can assist my community, but it's actually not appropriate for me to try to assist everybody. It should really be a wider network of people who can help their own communities. And I've known that since the start of my journey with brain integration many, many years ago. And so I am way delighted, very delighted, heart-burstingly excited about joining this team, and just very humbled to be able to head up the Metal House. As my job as an advisor, I'll be assisting people to identify which elemental path might be correct for them. And I just want to reiterate that right now in our learning for kinesiology and modalities, we really don't have that. We have singular teachers who come around and everybody takes those classes, but they are not actually going to be appropriate for each student. And so this model of allowing the opening of information to people so that they can actually find a modality that fits their strengths and where their heart and soul want to go is really just unparalleled and totally necessary. So I'm delighted to be a head of house and to advise people in that direction. I'll also be teaching my range of specialties. That's going to be all the brain integration classes, as well as advanced techniques for those classes. And that's it. If you'd like to contact me, please see nancylodi.com. I also have a bio on the website. And I do have a new video coming out at the end of the month, which we'll go through a little bit later, which is Ology, totally free to the whole world, balances that you can do for yourself. Thank you very much.
Yay, thank you. Okay, so that takes us around to water, which is me. And I'll say, when I first had this idea, I had no intention of heading up one of the houses myself. I saw myself as more being in the administration kind of role and overseeing things. And then as I started talking to people and as I started looking at what would be involved in each of those pathways, I realized more and more, I've been training for the water pathway all my life. The water element in itself is sometimes considered to be the mystery school. It's a little bit more philosophical. It's about being able to take a huge amount of information and distill it down or be able to focus on it. Water, it's mysterious and it's interesting. And to me, this is where a lot of the metaphysics in our field really finds a home. The ability to look at things like genetics and biology and physics and kind of go, okay, but in this application of us as energetic beings, how does this work? How does this work when I have someone on the table? How does this work from a distance? How can we use the new information that's out there about quantum entanglement and metacognition and those sorts of things and make use of this in our sessions? So that's part of it. And then, even just the GEMS classes, way back when my mom and I started creating GEMS stuff, it was about the flow and the fluidity and the ability to move from one thing to another in a really easy, feminine, yin, organic kind of way. And I feel like that's what this pathway is going to look like in the school. The ability to kind of explore a lot of different subjects, but also be able to wind them together and give everything some basis and some knowledge. Like, there's a foundation to this. It's not all just out here new agey mumbo jumbo kind of stuff, right? So that's part of it. For myself, I think most of the people that are here today, and I've been teaching Touch for Health for 15 years, and teaching kinesiology, teaching muscle response testing has really been my life, my livelihood for the last decade. And I do practitioner work as well. I see people here 3 days a week. I do distance sessions and that sort of thing. But the teaching is where my heart is. And I'm so happy to be working with this group of people and to be working with my kids and seeing them. It's been wonderful to watch them as they've come out of high school and they've been able to look and go, these tools helped us, right? Looking back, we can see how these tools have made a difference for us. And we want to give this to other people. And that's just such a huge, heartwarming legacy. So that's enough about me and bios. Hannah, is there anything else that you want to say about the website before we go into our coffee break here?
Only that people should go visit it.
Yeah.
The website, go look at it.
Go look at it.
Go look at it.
It's very pretty. Please go look.
It is very pretty.
Okay, well then in that case, what we're going to do is we're actually on time and on schedule. We're going to take the next 10 minutes to have a quick little coffee tea break. So the suggestion is grab yourself a beverage And if you want to, this is a few minutes when you can open up your mic and you can say hi to anybody, or chat for a moment, or run to the loo if you need to, or whatever you need to do here in this time. And then when we come back, we're going to put someone on the table and do a little group balance. So the other thing that I might put out there before we take this break is we're going to do a group balance with our intentions for wellness and self-care for the new year. So maybe just think for a moment, if you have a specific intention or a goal for your own health and wellness, your own care, just take a moment to have that in mind before we come back into this together. Oh, and I'll pause the recording while we have our little break here too. So, you can talk amongst yourselves freely without anybody else listening to it later. There we go. Okay, so let me just take a moment to kind of explain what we're doing with this, because I know that most of the people that are here are muscle testing practitioner kind of people, but there's a few people here who are not, who are just wonderful friends who are supporting us. So just to make sure that everyone's on the same page with what's happening here. Yes?
No, I was just saying hi to the wonderful people who are here to support
I
us.
see.
It was just very simple.
Yes. A train of thought derailed. Okay, so one of the things that we can do with muscle testing is we can do a surrogate balance. And one of the things I've been working on a lot for the New Dimensions class is working with matrices of different sorts. And so when we did, Marco Rado and I, some of you may have attended that, did a big event in December for sort of setting coherence and intention among practitioners around the world. And we had like 450 people from 30-something countries. It was amazing. And what I did for that was I did a little balance for everybody's intention, for working with us as a matrix, right? And so it was very, very simple. We're going to keep this simple and short and clean, but with the idea that we are all tied together energetically, and that when we do something like a group balance like this, we kind of strengthen that energetic bond, right? We become part of this matrix, and we clear stress from it, and we help everybody move forward individually as well as collectively. So when we were working with that balance, I had everybody think about their intentions for the next year. But one of the things that I have found is that when I'm working with practitioners, you're also altruistic. Everyone's intention was all like, I'm going to help more people. I'm going to teach more classes. I'm going to make a difference in all these lives. Oh, and that stuff is great. But I feel like we're actually all very good at those things. What we're not so good at sometimes is taking care of ourselves, making sure that we are staying in a place of balance and integration, that we're getting the sessions we need, that we take time off when we need it. Those are things that we are maybe struggling with, right? So that's why I specified, think about your own wellness intentions and what you need for this next year. And we're going to kind of make that a little bit of a focus. And Ezra has agreed to be a surrogate for us as we do this quick little balance. So, oh, I like Hannah's in the chat being loudly and grandly myself. Fantastic. Yes. I'm going to try to be a little less loudly myself and see if that works better than the current incarnation is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pin my video so that this shows up nicely in the recording. Please. All right. And this is just going to be a very simple gems flow kind of balance. And my fancy schmancy microphone isn't working for me anymore because somebody stole all my rechargeable batteries for the Wii over the holidays. So I'm just going to use my big voice, and if at any point you guys can't hear me, you need to just give me a sign of some sort that says you can't hear me.
We're on pinned camera, so Emma, you have to flail wildly if the chat can't hear us.
Yeah, we can see you. Okay. So, for those of you who have done GEMS classes in the past, I'm working from the basic flow chart. For those of you that haven't seen this before, that's okay. Just kind of enjoy what's happening and see if you can tie in and feel this energetic flow as it kind of moves around the room. So, I'm going to start by doing my pre-checks and make sure that this is all working fine. We're good. And then I usually would start something like this by having my victim make a statement, which is something like, I am willing and able to surrogate for this group.
I'm willing and able to surrogate for this group.
Great. And I'm just making sure that his body is okay with that and that it's not going to create a problem. And so now we're just going to focus for a moment on tying into the group intention. Okay. I feel like we've got that. And now we will go ahead and challenge, and we're going to look at that as a body agenda because we don't consciously know what it is exactly that everyone's balancing for, but we believe that the superconscious intention is here. And so then we can check for what element there is stress within. So air, fire, earth, metal, water. And then I'm going to challenge for modes, structure, chemistry, emotion. So we have a water emotion coming up. And you might notice, those of you who are paying attention to such things, I'm not stacking it properly into the circuit. I'm working with my morphogenic fields. The more I write about this stuff, the more I'm like, I don't want to pretend I'm stacking anymore. And we can talk about that later. And now I'm going to just challenge the water emotional stresses. So the emotion of worn out is coming up. So I'm going to put that into the circuit. Do we need to go deeper on that? Is there more stress? So let's go back up to the top and challenge for elements. Air, fire, earth, earth. Challenging for modes, structure, chemistry, emotion, electrical. So we have an earth electrical stress. And it's coming up around wheel energy. So that has to do with the circadian rhythms and the movement of energy on a daily basis. Do we need any more information about that? We do. Oh, is that a time of day thing? Okay. So most of us are probably in earth element time right now, right? Maybe not everybody, but a lot of us here are. And maybe at this particular time in the day, there's a little bit of a lack of energy, or maybe you have goals that are pertaining to being energized and moving in the morning or something of that sort. So we're just putting that information in the circuit. Do we need any more information? Is there more stress? Oh, air is now giving us a change as an element. Structure, chemistry, emotional, electrical. And central nervous system. Do we need more information? Okay, because of the kind of balance we're doing, it makes me wonder, are we talking about the central nervous system like literally? Like, is this an anatomy or a physiology thing, or is this more of a metaphor thing? So metaphorically, the central nervous system is about an interface of information, right? Taking in information, processing it, being able to give it off. Do we need any more information on that? Is there more stress? Challenging again for element, air, fire, earth, metal, water, wood. Structure, chemistry, emotional. So we've got a wood emotional stress.
Do you come up with a lot of physical stresses when you're doing the group balance like this?
No, sorry, I don't know if you're hearing him, but Ezra was just asking if physical stresses come up in a group balance like this. Almost never, unless we're working with something specific. Usually these ones I find it's much more metaphorical, and that's where my brain goes. Cannot follow through. Okay. Y'all know what that means to you.
Wow.
All right. So.
And that locked right up.
It locked right up. I know. Okay. So now we have some stress that we've put into this circuit around interfacing of information, the time of day in the morning between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. This idea of choice making, of being able to follow through, of feeling a little worn out. So just notice what that means to you and how that feels to you. Okay? And now we're just going to look for a little correction. A wee little correction. Metal. Metal chemistry. That's interesting. We don't usually get chemistry corrections for this kind of a balance. Let's see what comes up. It would just be like you to make everyone eat liver or something like that.
I'm guessing it's onions. Just everyone's low on vitamin B collectively.
You know what's actually coming up is deep breathing.
Oh.
So that's kind of fantastic, along with what Liz had us doing before. So deep breathing as being part of our correction here. So let's all just take a moment and do a couple big, like lymphatic clearing kind of breaths. All right. All right, so we have permissions to close circuit. And now I just want to do a quick check here and just have him say something like, I now test only for myself.
I now test only for myself.
Okay, so I want to make sure that we're breaking that surrogation and that it's clear that he's no longer testing for the group's energy. Now, that wasn't very much of a correction because we were going to do one other thing to kind of help correct this balance as well. So,
am I still like in victim mode here?
no, you can get up. And I just need 1 second to fiddle with my computer because part of the tech challenges we had earlier means my music is no longer queued up. So, give me 1 moment. Okay, and hopefully you can all still see and hear me even though I'm playing with this. So one of the things we had talked about doing as part of this today was a little bit of a muscle dance. And then as we were discussing this balance, we were thinking about using the muscle dance as a little bit of a metaphor correction. Okay? So one of the things, if you've taken a Touch for Health Elements Goal Setting Metaphors workshop, or you've done the elementals class, you might find yourself thinking about some of the ways that the movements reflect your goal. So for instance, a muscle movement, like what we do for stomach, this kind of a movement that we do for pectoralis major clavicular, this might mean I'm swimming through a sea of information, right? Or this might mean I'm grabbing the obstacles that are in my path and I'm shoving them behind me.
I think the last class I did, it was shoving children aside.
You could be shoving small children aside, you know?
Is that recording? Is that okay to say?
So Liz was just asking for a recap of what came up in that balance. And so I'll try to remember here. We had water emotion of worn out come up. We had the time of day, like the wheel energy coming up around the earth element. We had, yes, Kate, I know. That's what gets in the way of the goals sometimes. We had the cannot proceed, refusing to proceed from the wood. And I feel like there was one more. Oh, and there was the central nervous system stress from the air element that came up, which is around information processing, right? And then we needed to do the metal deep breath as a correction. But what we're going to do is put on a song, and for 3 minutes while the song is running, run through some of your muscle dance moves and allow that to be a correction for like balancing your intention, right? Think about what these movements mean in connection to what you need, right? Are you moving things out of your path, or is this about propelling yourself forward, or is this about gathering in what you need? So I'm not going to lead it. I'm just going to let everybody kind of do their own motion here at this point. And for those of you who are not Touch for Health people and who don't know all of these, just, you know, dance it out, as Liz would say, and enjoy moving around for a moment. And if you feel really self-conscious, you can turn off your camera, but I like to have that all on. So give me one moment. We'll just make sure that this is coming through. Can you guys hear my music? Okay, we're going old school rock. Gotta stop it before it goes into whatever's next. All right. Thank you for playing along with us there. And I didn't ask you to do a subjective assessment before, but you can absolutely, you're getting compliments on your moves, dude. Oh! You can absolutely take a second to stop and check in at this point and think about that intention and the way that you felt about it before, and think about how it feels now. Does it feel easier and lighter? Is there more energy behind it now? Does it feel more doable? Does it feel more fun? Is it more true? And so hopefully you got something out of that and it was fun and playful as well. Okay, so I think that we're going to move from here into something a little bit calmer, but still designed to help get our brains and everything integrated and working. Nancy, do you want to take over?
Absolutely. Alexis, thank you so much for doing this for us. I think, did you know which song you were going to choose? Oh, you did. So I just was really listening to the lyrics and really vibing with the don't look back, you know, because here we are moving forward into a new thing, a new dimension, a new way of being. And don't look in your rear view mirror. There's a reason why your rear view mirror is so much smaller than your windshield, right? And I think that's really, really applicable to everybody. So I just want to give a giant thank you to Alexis there. Also, I'm going to dance more this year. That's one of my resolutions. It felt really good to dance, right? Tony, you really like that idea, right? Maybe we should have like an additional dance-off celebration once every 2 weeks, and we'll just dance together. That would be really a lot of fun.
Yes, please. I think we need like Latin dance through the school and all of that this year. I'm just going to wait till Jesse's not dying to hit him up to actually schedule that. So.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. So again, for those of you who are joining us in the second half, my name is Nancy Lodi. I'm a cross-technology bit practitioner. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I have been doing cross-technology brain integration for 11 years. I stumbled into this. I didn't know what I was doing or where I was going. It was kind of like more divinely guided to be here. And this start of this school really brings together a lot of the different portions of my life and my particular passion in the world, which is to help people. So what I'd like to share with you now is something very special and dear to my heart. And it is called Ology. So a student of mine named it Ology. And as odd as it feels, I'm just going to go with it. That's just the name of it. Ology is a set of 6 balances that were kind of channeled to me when I had some clients. And I just want to give a little background. I hope that's okay. What happened was I had a clinic in Spain, and a mother called me frantically. She said, Nancy, I've never met you, but I've only heard that you can do some miraculous things. And my son is in a mental institute. Please come today to the hospital. And I did. And I was able to help him a little bit. And he had some other dietary and nutritional issues, as well as constipation, that were keeping him in this state where he was in this mental institute. And what I was doing was helping, but then within, a week, I had to come back to the States and work in this clinic where I work here. And there was that little voice in my head that says, Nancy, this is not good enough. So I just, in a flash of inspiration, showed the mom how she might be able to help that person with no muscle testing, actually. And lo and behold, in 2 weeks, she was able to get her son out of that mental institute herself. And then I came back to my clinic here in Boston, and I had a lot of people with PTSD who often felt good when I worked on them, but then they couldn't get an appointment. My schedule is often extremely booked. And again, that little voice said, Nancy, it's not good enough. And so I started to show them how to do that for themselves. And thus was born Ology. The video for Ology is finally coming out. It'll be out the end of this month. And I also have a new webpage, nancyology.com, as well as an Instagram and Facebook for this method. So we're just gonna walk through it together right now. All right, thumbs up, everybody wanna move on? Okay. So Ology is something you can do seated, or I really prefer it laying down. It's really great right before you fall asleep. Specifically, if you have trouble getting to sleep, it'll really help. And then also when you wake up in the morning, I know a lot of people wake up with anxiety and depression, like kind of immediately. They don't want to be that way. And Ology can help right then. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep, Ology will put you right back out. So it's pretty great. It's free for everybody. You can pass it to everybody you know. If you want the written instructions, I have those as well. Please just message me. So today we're going to do these exercises just seated, if you like. And I prefer, if you do have a laptop or an iPad sitting on your lap, you may just move it to the side. That instrument does have energy inside of it, and we want to separate your body energy from the computer. So that's how we'll do it. Each of the 6 balances has 3 parts. The first one is a mudra that you'll hold with your hand, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. The second portion is, while holding the mudra, you're going to step your feet out. So in my line of kinesiology, this is called pause lock, or stacking sometimes. And if you're laying in bed, you just start with your feet on one side and move your feet out. And if you're seated in a chair, it's the exact same. And then the third part is to hold your head in what is called the frontal occipital hold. My hand will go on my neck with my pinky up against that occipital ridge, and my other hand here in the front of the head. This is the correction technique. Everybody okay with that? So just take a minute here and maybe even close your eyes and identify, like, how are you feeling? We've been in this, we've been really having a good time here at the open house. We just danced it out. But I know that you still have some worries and concerns and some personal issues that are a little bit more prevalent. So just take a minute, take a deep breath, and identify how you feel right this second. And then we're going to start. So the very first balance mudra looks like this. You're going to hold your hand in a fist, pull out your first finger and your thumb. You'll touch those together. You can hold those up to the camera if you like. That's what it looks like. Then you're going to take those fingers and you're going to touch them to the divot underneath your chin. This is an acupoint CV24. Holding this position, you're going to step your legs out. Once you've done that, you'll hold your own head. The correction will take roughly 1 to 3 minutes. You're just going to breathe here. This correction technically is for the brain as an organ, the organ of the brain. So that's going to include the anatomical parts, the left and right hemispheres, and the corpus callosum, which is just such an important part. I want to say arguably the most important part, because it allows the 2 hemispheres to talk. And when I learned crossnology pre-bit, this balance also was for the neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are hormones that are inside your head, and they largely are how you feel. So for instance, dopamine being the reward chemical, feeling rewarded, and serotonin, feeling satisfied, although serotonin is also produced in the gut. Norepinephrine, which allows you to be focused on something. GABA, which is what allows you to go to sleep. Histamine, which is the allergy neurotransmitter, and several more. So essentially what we're doing here is balancing the neurotransmitters in the brain as an organ. Breathing deeply. Feeling the energy move. You'll know when the balance is done. Your body will just feel complete. If you're already an energy worker or you are sensitive to energy, you might notice that you take a deep breath and sigh. Or you may feel an actual pulse, if you're familiar with feeling pulses that will match. And maybe just take a second if you're done and identify, well, that was a change. I do feel a little different now. All right, and then we're going to go on to the second one. The next mudra is similar. You're going to take an easy fist, pop out your middle finger, touch it to your thumb. And it looks like that. There it is. Everybody's doing a great job. Sheila Caldwell does this every day. She knows what I'm doing. Nice to see you, Sheila, joining us from East Weymouth. Okay, so take that same mudra, touch it to the divot of your chin. same spot, CV24. And once you've got that position, step your feet out. Let go of your hand and hold your own head. Again, deep breathing. This balance is for the glands that are inside the cranium. Those glands are putting out the chemicals that we just described. So in the first balance, we're balancing out and regulating the chemicals. In this balance, we are regulating the glands that are putting out the chemicals. So those same glands that are used to put you to sleep, to wake you up, to allow you to focus. Those are the ones we're balancing. Deep breathing. Feeling the energy move. Your body will tell you when it's done. You may feel yourself sigh. You may, yeah, Alexis, you had a great change there. That was beautiful. Alexis just had a giant yawn. And so did you, Ann Kendron. I see that. Or you may actually feel a pulse. All right. Let's just take one more second while we're waiting. Beautiful. We'll go to the third balance of Nancyology. It's the exact same mudra. You take a easy fist, pop out your middle finger, touch it to your thumb. This time you're just going to hold the mudra and step out. Once you've done that, you'll release the mudra and hold your own head. This mudra is called Gland Mode. And when we touched here at CV24, we were talking about the glands that are in the head. Now we're concerned with the other glands. The adrenals, which are down here at CV5, the thymus gland, which is your immune system, the thyroid, and the parathyroid. So if you're a type of person that's wired but tired, like our group balance indicates that several of us maybe, this might be excellent. Get those adrenals into a balanced state so you're not running on fumes anymore. Regulating the thyroid and the parathyroid, and so importantly, during this pandemic, the thymus, which is where our immune system is really running from, behind the crest of the breastbone. Same situation, when the balance is finished, you'll feel a big sigh or a big yawn. You may just intuitively know it's done, or you may feel a pulse. And just breathing. All right, we're going to go to the fourth balance in Nancyology. This one is Chakra Mode. You'll take the pad of your pointer finger onto the nail of your thumb. Holding this mudra, you'll step the legs out. Let go of the mudra and hold your own head. This balance is for the chakra system as a whole. Now, I know several of us are practitioners here. So if you felt like you knew one of your chakras was unbalanced, you could hold that chakra mode closer to a chakra and balance just that one. This one is really for the chakra system as a whole. And so I find that a sure sign of a chakra imbalance is if you're tired when you should be awake, or awake when you should be tired. That's probably a chakra. So this is kind of setting our main system that we're working with 7 chakras there in a balance. Breathing deeply, feeling that energy move. Oh, that was a particularly good one. Deep breathing. allowing the energy to move and change, being in flow. Excellent. For the 5th balance out of 6, you're just going to take 2 fingers, touch that acupoint again, CV24. It's the divot of the chin. It is not the bottom of the chin. It's just in the divot. You got 2 fingers there, and you step your feet out. You're going to relax your hand and hold your own head. This balance is for the central vessel. Central vessel comes up the front line of the body. And metaphysically, it's how you feel about yourself. One of the 2 centerline meridians that hold the energy body in kind of an egg shape. Central vessel can always use a lot of work. If you've had a surgery that includes the cutting of any of the midline points, your central vessel needs some work. Deep breaths, allowing the energy to move. Allow. Allow is a good word for the new year coming up. So much that we don't know. So much that is changing. It makes us feel a little wobbly. Let's just allow the movement. Change really is the only constant, so we're allowing the change. Letting go of resistance. You guys are awesome. It's really fun to lead Nancyology in a giant Zoom group. Awesome. Okay, we only have 1 more to go. We're going to take those same 2 fingers. You're going to touch a different acupoint. It's on top of your top lip. That's GB26, governing vessel 26. Once you got your fingers there, you'll step the legs out. Let go of the hand and hold your own head. This balance is for the governing vessel. Governing vessel runs up at the back side of the body and is largely the person you show to others. This is the Nancy that I show to everybody else when I'm being the person that is Nancy Lodi. Is that person in alignment with the Nancy that I know? I'm working there. I'm working that edge, getting those 2 things to be more in alignment. The person I know and the person I show. Deep breathing here, allowing the energy to move. Some great releases that I'm seeing across the Zoom. Great job, everybody. So I'm going to invite you now to close the eyes, be in a relaxed position, and notice again, how do I feel now? This is a great time to use the chat and write a little description of how you're feeling now. What did you notice as a change as a result of the Nancyology exercises? People are saying calm.
My back is screwed up with scoliosis, and I thought that the governing meridian correction was a little bit helpful for that. So thank you.
Great. So some relief in some tension there. People are saying calm and more relaxed, maybe focused. Anybody else want to say something? These are great. I'm reading just the chat, feeling more centered, a relief of chronic pain. I can breathe deeper, she says. I feel I feel easy and relaxed. I feel calm. I feel centered. I love this. It's so easy and quick and it goes deep. Less tension. I'm not afraid anymore. How wonderful is it? So I just want to reiterate that these techniques are completely free. There is a new website, Ology. If you go to nancylodi.com, you can also see the other stuff I'm doing. The video is out at the end of the month. If you want the instructions before that, you just got to message me. I'll send them directly to you. And so I just want to remind you that these are really great right before you go to sleep. Like you have those weird minutes when you're like, oh God, what's going to happen tomorrow? Oh God, what did I forget to do? Oh God, is my child actually in their bed? Looking at you. And then right when I wake up, oh my God, I just woke up with a lot of anxiety because I'm nervous about something, or depression because you know, I've had some loved ones who passed away this year. And then also if you wake up in the middle of the night, this has been known to put you dead back to sleep. And I love that about it. So thanks everybody participating. I'm Nancy. That was awesome.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, we've got a few more minutes and we have just one last quick game to kind of round out our celebration grand opening party. So do you want to explain?
Yes. So we deeply appreciate everyone being here for the grand opening thingy-majooper, and so we wanted to litter it with different things to help people and games to have fun with. So now that we are all a little bit more balanced, we can go to my section of the schedule, which is a scavenger hunt of my devising. So as we learned a little bit earlier about the elemental functions, what they stand for, what they represent, how they sort of be manifested around us, I was thinking that a fun way to kind of cement that would be to play a scavenger hunt wherein we are finding objects that pertain to the elements in a way that is meaningful to us. So last night at 1 o'clock in the morning, I absolutely did not draw up posters for this game. So I'm hoping that they are coherent at this time. Yes, if you could share, please. Wait, just a moment. Yeah. So I didn't figure out how to have a clock going while we have the poster up, but I have devised these posters. They have a few tenets, I guess, a few qualities for each element. And these are just suggestions. If the element means something else to you, then you can bring it up. If the element means something else to you, you can implement that in a certain way. If you can do one of these or all of these or none of these, it doesn't matter. What that element means to you is the object that you can go and get.
How long do we have?
We have 1 minute to find an object, and then when we are done, we will hold up our objects and we'll take a quick screenshot just so that we have that. And then we will go along to the next element. And then when we're done, we might talk about a few of the items if we have time. All right, sound good to everyone? Everyone feeling good? Everyone ready?
Okay.
All right, I will let you know when the time is up. Your time starts now. Fire element.
I got mine.
All right, time's up. Emma, I'm liking the cloak. So which again? I'm liking these items. Is that good? Salt lamp. Excellent. Hannah has her shirt. Feels a little cheaty, but all right.
You might want to stop sharing the screen for a sec so that we can turn it on to like a gallery and everybody can see everybody.
All right. So again, oh, I like Keegan's little guitar there. Lighter, very good. So we might talk about these individually a little bit again if we have time. But for the time being, we're just going to take a quick screenshot of our items. So everyone hold them up if you're comfortable. Fantastic, thank you. This is not color coordinated for me. This is Beowulf. I like it for the literal mythic worldview of the fire element.
Getting all fancy with your element aspects over here.
Hannah got cherry tomatoes straight from the garden.
I did get tomatoes from the garden, but then I remembered that I'm wearing the element shirt.
Hannah's on a food theme for this one.
We're next to the kitchen.
All right, going along to our next element here. All right, our next.
Wait.
And again, you can implement the elements how you want.
Well, that you're doing my can't find a thing sound effects for me.
We all have the same can't find things sound effects. Do. All right, we have earth element. Everyone feeling ready? All right, time starts now. Go. Don't do multiple. Your face is cheating.
30 seconds.
I wonder how many blankets are there to come, Emma.
I'm not concerned. 10 seconds.
Hello.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that's time. Everyone hold up your things. I don't know.
Okay.
Delightful. Liz with, oh, that's honey. Okay, I thought you were just like holding up a bottle of whiskey or something. Socks, very nice. Food, yes, food is a big earth element thing. I am appreciative of the food. It's amazing. All right, okay. Hannah, of course, got bananas. This is my yellow swordfish sword with the clay hilt here. Very happy with that.
You gave it to me.
Jorah's.
It's Jorah's swordfish sword.
Jorah's swordfish sword.
Okay.
Okay. So going along then, along the cycle, we have the metal element. If everyone's ready, we'll go straight into it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I love the cucumber.
10 seconds.
Okay, time. Get out the necklace. Good. Is that a knife? Come on, Jesse.
They did too. Look.
Lots of blades. That's fine.
Okay.
I kind of appreciate that.
In
like the
his
necklace
defense,
fashion.
he finds them
This
very
blade I'm holding I
comforting.
made, so
We good? All right, people ready? Delightful. I have this stress ball that is gray and white that Mom allows children to use when she is working on them, but it is weather beaten.
This is just a giant hand.
Hannah
ginger.
has a fist of ginger. All right,
Okay.
I like the selection, very sharp.
We're just collecting our things here, so it's like
Yeah,
a pile.
I'm making a nest. This is how I do. Okay, so going into our next element. I'm sorry that the white doesn't show up fantastically here, but we have the water element. If we're ready, then go. You have a blue mud right there. It's built for water. Blue mud right there.
Be careful.
To be fair, my knife was the best.
to be fair, I made my knife.
Ooh, Zane wins.
Ooh.
To be fair,
And that's time.
Okay, water things though now, not knives.
There is some competition happening here, it seems. Liz, excellent.
Got lots of cool pendants happening.
I like Anne's pendant. That's very good. Obsidian shards, sure.
I'm also a fan
Sure.
of the ice cream.
I like
Is that
how many-
salted caramel? Is that what we're doing? Okay.
Oh, good call.
Chocolate
Good
chip,
call.
Okay. That's amazing.
I'm liking all the pendants that we have here. I found this chunk of labradorite, which I believe is good for water element, but also I have this bone necklace in the shape of a squid. So we have that for water element. Okay, let's get good angle there. All right, everyone ready?
This is
Fantastic.
it's a blue cup and it's full of water.
It's not complex. You also have your dice here,
I'm a
right? I
simple
mean,
person.
like these are blue.
These are blue.
Okay, last round.
Yep.
Everyone feeling good?
so good.
All right.
All right, and lastly, we have wood element. Final round, everyone. Ready and go.
I like the trees in this.
They are quite nice trees, Joe.
They are, Keegan.
I don't care if we're muted. These people are friendly, right? They don't mind. What? It's recorded. And that is time. How do you get? I can't.
I got this tiny little weed from our garden.
Very nice.
Delightful. I'm not. Is Anne just holding a log?
It's just a tree.
Amazing. Does he have a tomahawk?
This is amazing.
This is a good selection. I like this. Okay, ready? Fantastic. Liz has a cat. I appreciate
Liz,
this wood element cat.
Liz, this is not how this game works.
It's loud, well nurtured, growing, really fat. I mean,
yeah. Checks out.
I love that you had a defense ready too. That was good.
This is my Folk Tales of Ireland book, which is, of course, bright green. Thank you. Hannah got limes.
Which I believe Jorah picked from our neighbor's house.
Yep, I did.
Okay, that is the end of my thing. I'm very happy with the results that people got from that. I think we have just a couple minutes, so if people have particular favorites that they want to talk about for a moment, they can for a couple minutes, and then we will wrap around to a conclusion.
I liked my dagger.
It is a good dagger. There was a lot of bladed instruments. Okay, at my house, I have swords, but here I do not, which is a shame. Well, okay, I have
just
I have
this
better
sword that's on the
swords.
table.
I have that sword, and then I have the dagger, and then I have the plastic sword, and then I have the wooden sword, and then the mace, and then the crossbow. But you can't use those.
Thank you everyone for playing with us.
Yes, thank you.
Putting up with us.
Thank you. Okay, well then, let's wrap up because it's noon, and then what we're going to do is just quickly wrap this all up, but also we can leave the room open if anybody wants to chat at all or has any questions or anything like that, but I know a lot of you have other things going on today and made space in your schedule to be here with us, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So, in conclusion, I mean, you guys know how this works. There has to be a call to action at the end of something like this, right? So if you are feeling kind of inspired by all of this, but also don't quite know what to do from here, we have a couple suggestions, which have been taken away from you for reasons I don't understand. Hannah, are you putting it back? There we go. So what might you want to do at this point? If you are interested in looking at some classes and things, but maybe don't know where you fit, or just want to ask some questions or something about what we're trying to do, you can book a consultation, and you can do that right from the homepage of the website. You can check out the events that are on the list right now, and there's a range of things there, everything from some free intro to movement kind of classes that are happening this next week to advanced certificate courses. We're lucky enough to have Marco Rado teaching his foundations course at the end of February, which is amazing. So just check out some of those things that are coming up. You can become a member, even if there aren't courses that you're interested in right now. If you want more of this kind of stuff, like community events, access to forums where you can ask questions, the ability to check in with mentors and have that kind of personal connection every week. We're also setting up things, even really simple things like weekly study halls where it's just open Zoom room space, but you can meet up with other practitioners. Maybe a couple of you want to do case studies, or maybe you just want to chat about this course that you're working on, or something like that. You don't want to be working by yourself. You'd like to connect with your peers. That space is here. And you can join the newsletter, and the newsletter is going to be a monthly email that is just going to give you kind of a summary of what's happening right now, new courses that have been added, keep you up to date, and also throw in fun little self-care kind of techniques. We just did exercises with Nancy, easy things that everyone can be doing every day. And, it's a nice reminder for us. Oh, I have tools that are going to help me to feel better right away if I'm feeling under the weather or something like that. So that's what you can do from here. The email address for the school is here on this slide, as well as the website. Feel free to take a screenshot if you want to have those things bookmarked for later. And thank you so much.
Yep. What? May I talk?
Yeah, you can. We're kind of done the like officially bit here. So yeah, just thank you everybody. So yes, if you want to just chat now, or if you have any questions or anything like that, we had somebody just log on. Maybe there was an issue with time zone conversion, but that's okay. Serena, we actually just wrapped up the event, but it's all being recorded, so you're able to check in with that later if you like.
Can we get a quick round of applause for everyone who came here to help us support the thing? Thank you, everybody.
Can we, if you're comfy putting on your camera for a sec, can we take a screenshot of everyone who's here right now? I know there were more of us earlier, but...
Wait, just let me get my
Okay. Sure. All right. Everybody here and smiling? Yay.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's the knife for?
We did a 5-element, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording here.